Hey everyone, welcome to this weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for the week of February 1st to the 7th of 2021. All right, so this week we are essentially implementing energies from the full moon last week. Last Thursday, we did have maybe some shifts of awareness, maybe some new perspectives about life coming into the mix, and now a great week of starting to implement this as we do enter the third quarter phase. A lot of this is in the context of the fact that a lot of planets are in a very grounded sign of Capricorn. So our perspective really is on maybe what can take time, things that require discipline, maybe hard work, perseverance, but Mars in Aries really adding a lot of fire to the mix. So how can we do this kind of grounded stuff while still take action and initiative, pursue our needs and desires, and get into some of that fiery energy for maybe some of these long-term perspectives here on life. Mercury is still retrograde this week, so still good to be flexible. Things are changing, information's changing. Good to be adaptive, but also experiment, right? We do learn a lot during the Mercury retrograde period. So early in the week, that sun will be squaring Mars from Capricorn to Aries. So again, implementing Earth with fire. On Tuesday, Venus will enter Capricorn, joining that more grounded energy. We could be valuing more of the grounding energies of life and of our relationships. And towards the end of the week on Saturday, Venus will go over Saturn, suggesting a new beginning with this. Maybe a new chapter with things like responsibility, commitment with relationships and with our values in life in a yearly sense, a new chapter. And of course, since Saturn is starting to square Uranus this year, towards the end of the week, we'll probably start to feel that with Venus squaring Uranus. Good to maybe see if we can mix some things up, maybe have some new and different experiences in conscious and constructive ways. All right, so let's take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the sky for this week. We're going to look at this for each day of the week, starting with Monday, February 1st. As you can see here, we are using the visible sky, so this is very different from mainstream astrology, and you will notice a lot of the signs are different. So if you are new to the channel, definitely check out that link down below for more information. All right, so let's go do a quick recap in terms of where everything is. We certainly do have a lot of planets congregating here in grounded Capricorn. The sun is here. So the major focus of this month, we could say, is on taking the long road, right? Capricorn, the sea goat, is all about taking things one step at a time. It's a great time of focusing on what does require discipline, patience, and perseverance. With Mercury retrograde here, maybe this sort of context of going back, maybe rethinking what our long-term plans in life are, maybe our achievements, and what we can kind of sort of rework, redo, and just be flexible with during this retrograde here. Venus will be shifting into Capricorn around Tuesday, so we're going to start to value and enjoy more of this grounding energy, and we'll probably notice a lot of that starting to come through in our relationships as well. Again, things like patience, perseverance, long-term perspectives, really the major theme. But with all that, Mars is squaring up to that part of the sky here in fiery Aries. Two very different constellations. Again, the long road, the things that require more of the grounding energies, in a bit of a clash, we could say, with the fiery energies. So collectively, it is good to see how we can consciously implement some fire into all this, still think long-term and such, but in such a way that we do get some of that active initiating energy. If there's anything you do want to initiate, maybe do actively, maybe set some intentions with that you know will require that initiative. Very good to do this and to find the conscious ways of channeling this fire energy, maybe through physical exercise, maybe activity. Again, taking that short-term needs and aligning that with the long-term needs of Capricorn, right? Aries is what we want now. Capricorn is the long road. Anything that does incorporate both is a great way of working with this. I would say especially, I mean, really all week, but maybe especially the early parts when the sun does start to square Mars. Finding the conscious way of implementing that fire. If it's too much, then being conscious of it, aware of it, can help kind of balance that out a little bit. And if there's not enough, again, maybe some things we can initiate, do require that fire and that active energy. Really good to implement some of that consciously and constructively. And then as we start to get to the rest of the week here, that energy will start to ease up a little bit. But again, really with all these planets in these two signs, very good to incorporate this all week long. But this whole early part of the week, Monday through basically mid Thursday, but we'll say Monday through Wednesday, We do have the moon in Virgo, which is a very complementary sign to Capricorn. So adding a lot of earth energy this early part of the week, I think it's great for things that do require improvement, right? Virgo is the side of ourselves that does want to improve things, particularly ourselves. Great time of personal development, self-improvement, maybe building some good habits, maybe some good routines. Great time of doing the work, right? The details, the day-to-day, creating of structure, and challenging ourselves to implement things from, again, that full moon last Thursday really is the hallmark of this early part of the week. All right, and then no major aspects this middle part, so just mostly that earthy, grounded Virgo energy. And then once we do get to the later part of Thursday, the moon will start to shift into Libra, the scales. So I would say Thursday into Friday, really good for finding some balance in our lives. If there is anything out of balance, good couple days there to bring those back into balance. And in our relationships, oftentimes Libra can be emphasized, and finding balance and harmony and cooperation in our relationships, coming to agreement could be the theme there. Thursday and Friday. And this is really the shift because Venus going into Capricorn, again, our values are shifting, and it is shifting collectively, so our values are more in alignment with what does take time, patience, and perseverance. Especially around Saturday, because Venus will start to go over Saturn, suggesting a whole new chapter with this. It's like a new moon, and in the context of Venus, which is again our values and our relationships, and it's really a new beginning with more of the long-term energies of Saturn in Capricorn. So maybe again valuing things like achievements, accomplishments, long-term things, but in our relationships maybe just feeling more of that grounding sort of energy. So how can we see the big picture, right? Do some things that maybe are better for our long-term enjoyments versus the short-term enjoyments, and getting into some of that new beginning there around things like commitment, responsibility, patience, perseverance in our values and enjoyments of life and in our relationships. Definitely great, really all week, but we could notice a new chapter with that towards the week's end. And a little bit of a sextile with Chiron, maybe a little bit of healing energy available, but nothing major with that one. So once we do start to get into the late Friday time into Saturday, basically this weekend we do have deeper energy. The moon will be shifting into Scorpio and Ophiuchus. So Saturday, Sunday in particular, maybe even later part of Friday, really good to bring things to the surface, right? Excavate things within ourselves. This can be a little bit of uncomfortable energy, right? The moon doesn't particularly like to be here. The moon is more of our emotions and feelings, which are more protective in nature. But Scorpio and Ophiuchus want to bring all that to the surface. So really good time of diving deep with ourselves. How are we feeling? Maybe there's some deep things from the unconscious that can come to the surface for more acceptance, right? Working with these things. And all in all, just getting deeper with life. Great time for research, healing, uncovering deeper things, bringing things to the surface is really the theme here this weekend. All right, and then the week ends here with then Venus starting to square up to Uranus, which really is the emblem of what we'll be feeling this year with Saturn square Uranus. So this aspect is starting to go within orb as we get into next week. So this will likely be the first activation of it around Saturday into Sunday. So Saturn is again grounded, responsible. Venus in Capricorn, grounded, responsible. And Uranus, very erratic, very different, wants freedom and change, especially in fiery Aries. So again, it is the major theme of how can we incorporate both the earth energy and the fire energy into this yearly energy, really. But with Venus square Uranus, good to see if maybe there are some new and different experiences we can have that get outside of our comfort zone a little bit. Something that might feel a bit uncomfortable, but we know might actually be enjoyable or might actually benefit our relationships. Some sort of new and different experiences with values and relationships that can be consciously constructed. If there is any strong Uranus energy of impulse, wanting to break free, make some sudden changes, good to just be conscious of that to make that nice and balanced. But good to be a bit flexible this week anyways with Mercury retrograde. Maybe towards the end of the week, get outside that comfort zone a little bit. Experiment a little bit with our values and relationships and enjoyments, all in conscious and constructive ways, can make this a great part of working with this later part of the week. And then once we get to the very end of Sunday, the moon will be passing over the galactic center, suggesting that going into next week, we could be feeling this bit of maybe done with the deeper energies, a bit transformed, and starting to feel a bit expansive, a bit free-spirited, right? And this will start next week of Sagittarius, closing out the current lunar month that we've been experiencing here, gearing up for new moon, which will be next week there. All right, everyone. So that is the week in a nutshell. Put simply, is how can we implement grounded Capricorn, patience, discipline, responsibility into the fiery energies of things while still doing what's important for our personal needs, taking action and initiative, incorporating both of those energies, still being flexible with Mercury retrograde, and implementing any insights from last Thursday, right? If there was anything that has shifted with your perception, great week to challenge yourself to implement, all in the context of this collective energy here. All right, so everyone, have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that like button if you haven't yet. If you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe for more videos like this one and click the bell button if you'd like notifications. And I'll see you all next time for the next weekly forecast. Take care.